Test scores. 1, 2, 3. Test scores.
Hi everybody. Am I good at me?
Yes, sir. Austin, you staying in there with him?
Yeah, we're not. That's something.
You might as well learn about.
Just close the door.
You might as well learn about something you can. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to In Conversation with Darian Fan, where we talk about real issues not only facing our community, but our world. Today is March 1st, 2019. Even though today is March 1st, we here on In Conversation would like to conclude Black History Month by talking about a very interesting subject. This subject came to my attention when I was just surfing through YouTube and I saw a video about a woman who tells this story about the former slave, the slave who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. And so I clicked on the video and I looked at the video and actually this story is very touching. And so we're gonna talk about that today as I tell you the story of the true story behind what we know as Jack Daniels. As we all know, synonymous with the American liquor and or spirit industry, Jack Daniels has run synonymous at many of our family gathering social parties for years. But what you don't know is the story behind Jack Daniels. According to legend, Jack Daniels, an orphan, was trained to make whiskey at a very young age by a preacher and master distiller, Dan Call. But what you don't know is the story of Nathaniel Uncle Nearest Green, who was the first African American master distiller in the United States on record. But first, before I get into the story, I want to tell you the difference between Kentucky bourbon and pure Tennessee whiskey. The difference is, even though it is brewed the same, the only difference is what is called, Tennessee whiskey goes through what is called the Lincoln County process, actually, which is named after the county that Uncle Nearest lived in. We find around 1820, him being born, Uncle Nearest being born in Maryland, and around 1856, little is known about his early childhood and upbringing. Around 1856, we find him rented out to a preacher and distiller by the name of Dan Call because Call had to make a decision between the church or I'm going to continue to sell whiskey. Call still chooses the ministry, but still has the distiller on his property, still has the distiller on his property, and so he lets Uncle Nearest, Nathaniel Green, run the distillery. Now, at the same time, a little orphan boy around 10 years old is hired out to Dan Carr as a chore boy, came to the Carr farm as a chore boy. You know, toting water, milking cows, etc., etc., etc. He was very curious one day about the smoke coming out. He asked Reverend Carl, what is that? And basically, he's like, if you want to know what's over there, I'll tell you what's over there. He takes the boy to Uncle Nearest, and he says, tell this boy everything you know about Tennessee whiskey making. So he teaches the boy. The boy becomes, in time, the boy becomes a master salesman. He sells to soldiers in not in World War II, in the Civil War and stuff like that. And of course, when it was illegal to sell whiskey to soldiers, but Dan Carr, but Jack Daniels only stood 5'2" his whole life, so he looked like a kid. So he sold whiskey. In time, the boy built his own distillery, and the little boy's name was Jack Daniel. Well, we know him as Jack Daniel. The world knows him as Uncle Jack. But who you don't know about is Uncle Nearest. When Jack Daniels built his first distillery, Nearest Nathaniel Green was Jack Daniels' first master distiller. And in a time when blacks and whites were racially divided, Jack Daniel and Nathaniel Green, well, Uncle Nearest, work side by side. And some of Uncle Nearest's descendants still work at the factory. So why is it that Uncle Nearest's story is not in the history books and not given credit? Really, that's not Jack Daniels' fault, because in his official autobiography, Nearest Green's name was mentioned about 20 times. It wasn't until 2015 that Fawn Weaver, who is a well-selling author and daughter of a Motown songwriter, saw the story in the New York Times, who was living in LA at the time. And basically, she ended up moving to Lynchburg and dedicating her whole life to this story. And they now have, there's the Nearest Green Foundation, and of course, there's actually a Uncle Nearest brand of whiskey that is not owned by Jack Daniels. That is called Uncle Nearest, to honor the first African American master distiller in the United States. But you know, it's funny how stories like this get overlooked. You see what I'm saying? When a black family or a white family has has been like this for years and we know nothing about it. But who would have thought? And actually, like I said, the only difference between Kentucky bourbon and Tennessee whiskey is the charcoal mellowing process, which is now called the Lincoln County process, which is the county in which Uncle Nearest lived and brewed his whiskey. And basically he taught other distillers, Jack Daniels and everything, his process, which is the charcoal filtering and mellowing process. So you know there are a lot of interesting things in our history. All you have to do is take a look. We'll be right back after these messages.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
No.
Welcome back to In Conversation with Darian Fan. Today, my topic is the greatest whiskey maker that the world never knew. The story of Nearest Nathaniel Green. It's funny how Nearest Nathan Green. It's funny how, like, we celebrate Black History Month and we never hear about these stories. The reason why I wanted to talk about this story is because one, it shows how blacks and whites can come together and be mutually respected. And how a friendship between an orphan boy and a slave together built one of the greatest brand names in America. So here's to Uncle Nearest, and actually, I don't know if Uncle Nearest is actually sold in Ohio yet, but you can go to www.unclenearest.com to purchase the whiskey. Join me next week as we highlight Disability Awareness Month here on In Conversation with Darian Fan. And stay tuned. Up next, L&T Sports Blitz. This is WUCP.
Okay, mic check.
One cookie! Welcome!
Leave me alone! Alright, so we starting with baseball.
Yes.
Alright.
Sports Blitz. I'm Tyrone!
And I'm the man in the middle. Raheem. I don't really want to introduce myself no more because I think I'm going to be jobless soon. Tyrone don't like me no more, so.
Come on here, baseball! Oh, a blockbuster contract for Bryce Harper. You want to take it? He going to finish up. Get
It's a contract that I never seen before. 13-year contract worth $330 million. Equals out to something like $26 million a year. Is that something you've ever seen before, Tyrone?
The only one I was closer was A-Rod and the guy, one of the guys that played for the Yankees. It was only for 8 years though.
Okay. And this comes with the no trade clause.
Yeah.
So this guy is going to be here for a while.
Yes.
Until he's 39, I think.
And how old is he now?
26?
26. Okay. Okay. His family will be taken care of for quite a while. Okay. Well, congratulations to
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
And the other one,
Phillies.
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado signs a $350 million deal with the Padres.
Yeah.
Man.
10 years. So, a little less than Bryce, but
It's still a lot of money.
yes.
I was just talking with the guys before we came in. I was saying that baseball must really make a lot of money to pay these guys this much money.
Yeah.
You don't see NBA contracts, NFL contracts this big. Any other sport that we don't touch on that plays like maybe make big money?
It used to be hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It used to be hockey,
So
but
hockey, I'm gonna have to look that up and see hockey players. What's the average hockey player contract? Engineers, y'all can help us out. We'll get them a few minutes.
yeah.
That's what we need to get. We need to get a fact checker. I know a lot of people on the radio, they have fact checkers in the studio with them, and when you say something, they'll be right on it, bam, man. Then when they come back up, they'll whisper it in your ear, and you can act like you know what you're talking about, but it's really the fact checker that's telling you. So let's talk about. We'll talk to Mr. CEO Darren Fan about getting us a fact checker. Even though Amy does a really good job, we know she's a man in the sport.
One thing, one day we gonna have Andre Lott.
Oh yeah. Tell them about the news, guys.
We met Andre Lott's wife. He's coming in. And
Once we get set up, we'll let you know.
Okay, so coming soon, Andre Knotts.
yeah,
Tell them a little bit about him, who he is and
he
what he does.
he worked with the Indians, the Bros, and he know about sports. He used to go to Atlas.
Okay, cool. That's gonna be fun. Can't wait till that day. Maybe I'm gonna sit out that day, and I'm gonna sit in Amy's chair that day. All right. Anything else for baseball, guys? Before we move on.
No.
Okay, what's happening in the NFL?
The combine.
Combine started this week.
Yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to watch any of it to see who's looking?
No, it's got all week.
Okay, so when did it start? Did it start Monday or?
I started Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so again, we can look into that and see who's looking good and.
Of course, he's talking about Kyler Murray going to Cardinals.
Yeah. And they talk about Haskins going to New York.
So is these good moves, bad moves? What y'all think?
I think that'll be a good move. And one thing on Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, their new coach. And he really likes Kyler Murray, so they might get rid of Josh Rosen.
Okay.
Breaking news. Johnny Manziel
is out of
The Canadian League. I heard that.
yes.
That we back in August of last year, me and my sons went to Canada for my son's birthday, and we were at this pizza place and we was watching a football game. I was like, "Hey, is that Johnny Mercer?" I couldn't believe it, but yeah, he was playing. So, and they was losing this. So maybe combination of his bad attitude and losing, he just one of them hotheads that can't get it together.
Yeah, they kick him out. Nobody
can say it.
Nobody.
They probably kicked him out of Canada.
Yeah.
Nobody can say them, so.
Any details on why or what he did or?
I don't know, but
we'll get some more information.
But we don't get kicked out of Canada.
Yeah, Canada don't play though, man. They don't go for no BS in Canada. They say don't bring that BS here. Oh, cool. I'm sorry to hear that because he had a promising future, but some people, like I say, some people just can't get together.
Yeah.
We're gonna give y'all a little breakdown of the latest NBA games.
Yeah.
The Cavs won last night, right?
Yeah.
Was that like their 10th win or something?
Freaking.
Okay, that's better than what I thought. Okay, go Cavs.
Yeah. And they beat the New York Knicks.
All right, and the Lakers play the Bucks tonight.
Yeah.
That should be a really good game.
Yeah.
Who's the B4 game?
Come on.
Toronto.
Come on, and I think, San Antonio again, but I'm not for sure.
All right, and Golden State lost to the Magic.
Yeah.
The Nuggets lost to the Jazz.
Yeah.
And San Antonio lost to the Knicks.
Yeah.
That was last week.
You see how he that last week. Okay, no reporting last week news this week.
No.
When San Antonio lose, okay. All right. Anything else? What do y'all think about the draft? You think the Cavs is gonna get a good pick?
I hope so. Give me everything Carol came back. Let me go real good.
Oh, okay. Maybe he should hurt his toe again, huh?
And the Belgian picking 17th in the draft.
Yeah.
Who?
The Belgian picking 17th.
Okay. That's what I'm excited about, the Browns' new season. We're supposed to be getting some really good players. Anything in the rumor mill?
And I heard this. Antonio Brown might, I'm not for sure, he might play with the 49ers or us one here. I'm not for sure.
But you could say it's the rumor mill. As long as we call it the rumor mill, we ain't stating no facts. So,
Okay.
what about Odell Beckham Jr.?
They said the guy want to keep him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's okay. We're going to get somebody. We're gonna be all right. We going to be all right.
Yeah.
All right, so upcoming boxing news. Cleveland's own Sean Porter will be fighting March 9th against Yordenis Ugas. Sean Porter from Cleveland, played high school football.
Yeah.
And he got a pretty good record. He ain't lost too many.
And he undefeated.
No, he's not undefeated. He lost to Keith Thurman.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, he got robbed that fight.
Yeah.
He clearly beat him up. But, yeah. So we're looking forward to that. And a big fight that's coming up March 16th, Errol Spence Jr. Now, he's dangerous. Dangerous guy. He's fighting Mikey Garcia, who's undefeated, and he's on the warpath itself. So,
Yeah.
all you boxing fans, we're looking forward to that. And there's some more later on in the year that's going to be some great fights. So I keep y'all
How many
posted.
days till opening day, Lee?
I think 28.
28 days till opening day.
Yeah.
All right.
Mark, can I get home opener for the English is April 4th day on April 1st.
April Fool's Day. Hi, April Fool.
Yeah. And
All right. So we're looking forward to the home opener. When the Yankees home opener, Tyrone, you know?
Probably around the same time.
Okay, so what kind of season you looking for at the Yankees?
I'm looking for a good season. As they go out there pitching straight out, everything goes right. They can be right there.
All right. We know Leon's looking for a good season out the Indians.
yeah.
Hey, about Jesus win.
Yeah. Oh, he coming back for the Cowboys 1 year. $5 million.
Okay. That really lit a fire under you, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. That's what I like to see.
He's coming. They say he's in a pretty good shape, man.
Yeah. Get be out of football for 1 year. It could be good for get placed up
Yeah, cause he's a dependable tight end.
yeah. But
Hey, get one shot at the Super Bowl.
okay. Okay. Gigabyte Philly. Who kick and color balls and go to
Antonio Brown,
yeah.
I think he, I don't know. They want, you think they want too much?
Yeah, because people want phone number one, two number two.
So they just making it difficult. That's what that is.
Right.
They just making it difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Jim.
Oh, we're wrapping it up.
Yeah. Have a best weekend. We love you. And
See you next week.
and we'll be back next week Can